morning. Welcome to Sunday School, y'all. We're going to sing Silent Night. We're going to sing 3 verses of it. Feel free to join in. Here we go. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round young virgin mother and child. Holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Silent night, holy night, shepherds quake at the sight, roaring stream from heaven afar, heavenly hosts sing hallelujah. Christ the Savior is born, Christ the Savior is born. Silent night, holy night, Son of God, love pure light, radiant beams from thy holy face, with the dawn of redeeming grace. Jesus, Lord, and thy word, Jesus, Lord, and thy word. So this rotation, we have been looking at the Bible accounts. That means the record, the historical record, not a made-up story, but an account of Jesus' birth. Now, the last 2 weeks, the account we were talking about didn't actually talk about a baby at all, did they? When we looked at the Gospel of John, John said, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God, and the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. And that is John telling us that God became a person in Jesus to live with us. During Christmas, you'll hear the word Emmanuel, and what that means is God with us, Emmanuel. And last week we looked at Matthew, and Matthew did not talk a lot about Jesus' birth either, but Matthew talked about all of Jesus' great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandparents, and how Jesus was God keeping his promise that he was going to send a Savior. Well, today we're going to talk about Luke. Now, Luke talks about baby Jesus a lot. Luke is the gospel that we normally read at Christmas because it talks all about Jesus. It talks about the shepherds and the angels. It talks about Mary and Joseph. And Mary and Joseph lived way up north in a place called, does anybody know where Mary and Joseph came from? Where did they come from originally? No, that's where they went. Where were they coming from? Nazareth. Now that would be about, if you were walking, that would mean like Chattanooga, Tennessee. So they had to go from Chattanooga, Tennessee all the way down to Bethlehem. And why did they have to go to Bethlehem? Because their great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandparents were from Bethlehem, and that's how they did the census. So they could be counted. They had to go to Bethlehem and say, I am a descendant of David. So they get to Bethlehem, and what did they do? What didn't they do? They hadn't made reservations. So they got to Bethlehem, and while they were at Bethlehem, they couldn't find a house. So they went and they said, please, dude, we need a place to stay. He said, the best I got for you is the place where we keep the animals. You can stay with the animals. Now, today we would think that's kind of gross a little bit because none of us would want to do that. But animals were a big part of their lives back then. And for many people, animals actually lived in the house with them. And especially in winter, you know what animals help do inside the house? They help keep it warm. So if you're surrounded by animals who are giving off heat, it's going to help keep the inside of the house a little bit warm. So that was kind of good that there were animals there. And the reason why we know that animals were there Where did Mary lay Jesus after he was born? In a manger. Now, we think of manger, if you say manger today, everybody says, oh, that's where Jesus was placed when he was born. But what a manger actually is it's a box that you put the food for the animals in. It's the feed trough. So Jesus got laid in there. Now, the thing is, the very first lesson when we talked about God, in the beginning there was the Word, and the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us. So we have the God of all the universe coming to live among us. And where was he born? In a stable with a bunch of animals. And where did the God of all the universe sleep his first night on earth? In a feed trough. Now, could God have been born anywhere he wanted to be? Could God be born anywhere he wanted to be?
No.
Yes, he could. He's God. God could do anything. If he wanted to have been born in a palace, he would have been born in a palace. If he wanted to be born in the middle of a cloud, he could have been born in the middle of a cloud. If he wanted to be born on a ship in the middle of the sea, he could have been born on a ship in the middle of the sea. But God didn't choose to do any of that. God chose to be born in Bethlehem with Mary as the mother, and he was born in just a regular, common place where animals were, and he was laid to rest in a stable. Now, there's an important lesson there, because way too frequently we get caught up on stuff and looking good, don't we? Okay? But God was coming to earth, and he's saying, I'm the God of all the universe, and want to know something? That stuff doesn't matter. What matters is God has come to us. It doesn't matter that he's in a palace. It doesn't matter that he's not, in the middle of the ocean. It doesn't matter that he's not up on a mountaintop. God was born with us. He was born in a place that everybody could go to. And who knows everybody could go there? Who were the first people that were told that Jesus was born? Shepherds. They weren't the cool people. They were the smelly people. They worked with sheep. They did not smell good. They were out in the fields with the sheep all the time. There are no showers in the field with the sheep. But God told them about Jesus' birth. So Jesus came to a place where all of us could go to. He didn't go to a place that kept people from coming to visit. He went to a place where all of us could go, so all of us can see Jesus.